Hey everyone, welcome to the first video of 2022. So I have partnered up with the guys from Linant, or you can pronounce it Linant. In today's video, we're going to do the unboxing and review of their Linant base printer. This is a mid-size SLA printer, and we're going to open it up, look at it, and then put it to the test in printing something. All right, everybody, this is the Linant base. This is a mid-size SLA printer. I'm going to do the unboxing here. We're going to take a look at a few of the features, and then we're going to move the printer into the workroom where we can actually do some test printing. So let's do the unboxing right now, and let's see what comes in this thing. All right, so here it is unboxed. I guess I shouldn't have put this on here, right, so we can take a better look at it. Let's go ahead and take this off. So, wow, this is a nice looking machine here. The first thing that really pops out at me is this dual axis here that it has. So it has twin motors, a dual Z-axis, and what's that gonna do? That's gonna take and provide a little bit more stability, less knotting and stuff with your print. But I mean, this is a solid aluminum alloy frame here. This thing is just, it looks well put together. So let's take a look here. Let's take this off so we can take the build plate out. Take this out. Now, this has a max level of 800 grams, where your typical printer, like your Saturn, I think your Anycubic, has a max level of like 500 maybe. So the one thing that I see that I'm not a fan of right off the bat is it's not a one-piece construction on the vat. So that may be a little challenge when it comes to cleaning up or whatever, but that's something I think I can live with. Yeah, so let's take this, let's put this back on here. So another thing too is it has a lip right here that actually slides up underneath a guide rail back here, so this thing won't shift or move at all. I can tell that already. That's really, really cool. And this is your leveling paper. So this is actually a cloth, which is a lot better than a normal was it A-type paper that they send you that you can scratch up your screen or whatever like this, but this is an actual cloth here. So let's take a look at the accessory kit and see what comes inside. So this is your USB right here. You got some masks that come with it. You got some filters or strainers, whichever you want to call them. Here is your plastic spatula. You got a paintbrush that comes with it, and they also send you a pretty good sized box cutter. I'm assuming that this right here is to be able to cut your supports off. Of course, this is your tool bag right here with your screwdriver and Allen wrenches. Oh, cool! You also get a collapsible funnel. That's really cool. That helps tremendously whenever you're trying to put resin back in the bottle after you use it. Got alcohol pads. Not sure exactly what these are. We'll take a look at that. And of course, this is your leveling rulers right here. So right off the bat, you probably wonder, how do you level this thing? We're going to show you here once we get it back into the workroom. So with these printers, you do get a small bottle of resin, so you can get this thing, set it up, and start working right away. That's just very, very cool. You don't have to wait for your resin to come in. It's 500 grams. This is cool. I saw this and I thought this is pretty neat. They actually give you replacement FEP. Also, you get, this is your power cable. So the one thing that I see that's different than other printers is this doesn't have an external power supply. So that means that it's running an internal power source. So all you got to do, this is almost like a computer cable. You just plug this thing up and go with it. So that's very, very cool. Your build plate Oh wow, this is neat. So your build plate, it's all metal construction. Looks really, really neat. The one thing that I see, I don't know if you guys can see that right there, but the build plate is already scuffed for you. It looks like some type of etching on here, so that way you're going to have better adhesion to your prints and you won't have to worry about scuffing it up yourself or having failed prints. I like that. That's a pretty neat thing. Man, I can't wait to get this thing in here to plug it up and look at the extra features and stuff, and that's where we're going next. All right, so let's get it in the workroom. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at all the features it has, and then we're going to start printing some stuff with it. How about that? All right, so looks like we got a plug-in back here. All right, let's get that in there. It looks like you got a power switch here to actually turn it on here. And then when you flip this around, you have the main power, or actually that was the main power. All right, and then you have the power button on the front. So we're going to turn that on. I believe it is a 4.3-inch color LCD, full color. So you have, it runs with a Chi2 box as your slicer. You got your calibration here. We'll do that here in just a minute. What I was doing earlier was incorrect. This guide rail right here, you don't have to take this thing completely off. It slides back and forth to lock the vat in there. So all you got to do is just loosen up these screws here, slide that thing back, and then your vat will pull out. So I was actually taking the whole entire thing off, and that was going to be a pain in the you-know-what if you had to do that every single time. But that's pretty cool. Here's a closer look at the vat. This thing is massive. So yeah, it gives you the min level and the max level on there. I think that's pretty cool because that way you don't have to keep filling up with resin if you're building a large print. So I'm getting ready to level this thing. So it's got some tape over here. This looks like magnets that have some tape over them where you put the leveling or where you put the levelers at. So yeah, that looks like a magnet, so that thing will just stay in place, and then you'll put the levelers on there. So let me get this tape off of here, and then we'll be back, put the levelers on there, and we'll go ahead and level both sides here. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to level the gantry right here. So you get these two aluminum leveling rulers that basically just sit into these little magnetized parts right here. They sit just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're obviously going to go ahead and get to the screen where we're going to send it home. All right, so that lets you know it's at its home stage. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn the printer off. All right. And then these right here, you're going to have like a bit of a gap up here at the top of this. I don't know if I can get up closer to it or whatever, but you'll see like a little minimal gap up here at the top. These screws up here actually turn. That way you can actually make this go down, up or down. And you wanted to get it to where it is almost just touching the top of this right here. So you see up underneath there, we got a little bit of a gap. So this thing will actually make your gantry go up or down. See how it does that? So it's going down right there, touching there. And this doesn't level your build plate. It just levels the gantry down there. Of course, you don't want to take and screw it down too tight or whatever, just barely touching that. And then once you get it to where you want it, you'll turn the printer back on, manually send it back up, and then you'll just take the levelers out. All right, so your gantry is all level. So next what we're going to do is we're going to level the build plate. So one thing I want to point out as far as the screen, it is an 8.9 4K monochromatic screen, but it has also got a tempered glass screen protector on top of there. So you don't have to go out and buy a separate screen protector, which is very, very cool. That's just one of the added features right there that is selling me on this already. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to level this build plate. So I just put this, the handle, the knob up there. And then what I'm going to do is I've already got this loosened up here just for time's sake. And so then you got your leveling sheet right here. You're going to basically just put this on there, and we're going to go ahead and let's move this up just a tad. Put this on there, tighten this, and then we're essentially just going to go ahead and take it to home. So one thing I didn't do is I didn't take the leveling rulers out, which is okay. It doesn't have any effect on that. Okay, and so then what you want to do is you just want to tighten the screws down, tighten each side on the front and back, and you're ready to go. So one thing I did fail to mention, there is a calibration button on here to calibrate your screen. It'll just throw up some red plus signs. You confirm it basically and exit out and then confirm again. Then your screen is calibrated for you. Okay, we're getting ready to put the vat back in and do some printing. We're going to fill this puppy up with resin, and then we're going to print something off here. Back to the vat, the one thing that I wish this did have is the vat bottom is basically flat. So when you take the vat out and like you want to set it somewhere, it is kind of going to sit on a flat surface, and that runs the risk of the FEP, you know, getting damaged or something to that nature. Unlike a couple of the other printers that I have, like my Anycubics, have like little footings on the bottom there. So that's one of the little drawbacks, but I'm just itching here to get this thing to printing. So let's go ahead and let's put this back in. And one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to drag this thing across your screen. Don't forget, the screen is an 8.9 inch monochromatic tempered glass top over the polarizer. So this thing is tough, but if you put metal over that thing, then you're going to have, it's going to be a bad day for you. So make sure everything is locked into place. So it's the little things that kind of make me happy about a printer, I guess you could say. Well, I might point out that once this thing is locked into place, I mean, this thing is solid. This thing is not going anywhere. There's no shift. There's no give to it at all. Even on the build plate, this thing is solid. Your gantry is solid, and I'm tugging on it pretty hard here. Well, not that hard, but all this up here is aluminum. It's all a metal construction, and I love the fact that it has dual motors. So you're not putting a lot of tension on one motor, and that's awesome. I think that's gonna make a difference in your prints. But hey, let's get some resin in this thing and let's get it to printing here. All right, guys, we're going to try their resin. You can actually try whatever resin you want to, but let's see if this is going to be some good stuff here. So let's download something and let's get it to printing. All right, everyone, so right at 3 hours, we have our first print done. This is a little bit of a test print that I did here. These are actually a couple of heads for a model from Wicked Art that I'm going to be working on, so I wanted to test them mainly because of the detail, for one. And the other thing, too, is I've been having a lot of problems here lately on my Anycubic with a lot of the rounded parts of printing flat. As you can see, this printed out really awesome. I mean, it's got a lot of detail. And again, I'm just pulling this off the build plate. I haven't even cleaned up anything yet, but it looked like a very successful print. It looks very, very good. I'm gonna get these off the build plate and clean them up real quick, and we're gonna come back and look at them and see what kind of details that has in there. But I'll tell you right now, this is awesome. I mean, this is one of the heads. This is actually Captain Carter. This is part of a Hydra Stomper piece from Wicked Art that I'm going to be working on soon. But it captured all the detail perfectly. All in the hair is This one is going to be of Steve Rogers. He's actually going to be in the Hydro Stomper suit. But again, the detail is exceptional. Both of these just look really exceptional. I'm very, very happy with how they turned out. So we're going to take it to step 2. We're going to print out a bust and see how that one turns out. And that'll definitely be the ultimate test here to find out how this printer performs. All right, so we're going to print something here to utilize the whole entire build plate. It's just about a 2-hour print here. The build plate is a 192 millimeter by 120 millimeter by 240 millimeter, or it's basically 7.5 inches by 4.72 by 9.64. So that is a pretty good sized build plate. It's very comparable to the Saturn and the Anycubic Photon Mono X. And we're going to go ahead and print a lot of detail in this one. Just do a quick print here and see how everything turns out. All right, so just in a little bit under 2 hours on this print here. I know you've seen them all over the internet, but I just had to print one. So this is the articulated dragon that's been going around all over the internet and different sites and everything. I wanted to print one because I've never done it before. And another one, I just wanted to show off the details of this printer here and talk about adhesion and all kinds of stuff because this dragon here has got to be able to stick to this build plate, and I wanted to see how easy it is to get it off too. So we're putting everything through the test on this printer, and so far it has been turning out great. Look at the detail on that. I mean, that's just awesome right there. It captured everything in that model. So I'm going to take it off the build plate and see how well it comes off of here, or how easy it comes off of here, and we'll go to the next step. All right, so let's see about how easy this thing comes off of here, because I've seen people like totally tear them apart trying to get them off. So far, so good. Wow, that come off super easy. I was really nervous there for a little bit. I thought maybe that these legs would break off real easy because they look pretty fragile. But look at that, guys. That turns out really, really nice. So there you have it. Very good adhesion, comes off the build plate. So that passes the test. That is just an awesome print right there. I love this printer so far. Everything that I've printed thus far looks really, really good. So yeah, this may be my go-to printer from here on out. How you like that? Huh? Well, there you have it, everybody. I am super impressed with this printer. Just everything just flowed right from the get-go. This thing makes no noise whatsoever. The only noise that you're going to hear is it actually going up and down on the axis. But the dual axis is definitely a key factor into this right here to keep from any nodding or shifting, as you saw in the prints that I printed earlier. And also the center vat here is super easy to get in and out. And the fact that they thought of putting on a tempered glass protector on top of the LCD screen is just awesome. I think that speaks volumes. They touched on everything on this printer to make it just easy for you just to open up out of the box and start printing right away. Even comes with resin. I mean, I don't see any other printer company doing that. And the resin is actually really good. It's not some cheap little funky resin that's going to clog up or just look milky and stuff. I mean, you've seen the prints from earlier, so the resin's actually pretty good. I'm looking forward to getting more resin and printing bigger stuff later on down the line. I'm also going to do another video printing some more highly detailed, bigger stuff on this. This was just kind of just an introduction review of the printer itself and its capabilities. But again, I'm super impressed with it. My hat's off to them. Definitely, if you're looking to get one, you're looking to upgrade your printer or looking to get into printing or whatever, I've got a link below. It is on sale at Amazon right now. It is an affiliate link. I do get a little bit of kickback from it to help support the channel. but there is a link down there. Their resin right now, I think they're getting back in stock on it, so check with that pretty soon as well. But this is definitely probably my new favorite printer, and I'm a tough cookie here because I'm an Anycubic guy. I've been using those printers for a long time, but this one right here, I'm even thinking about getting a second one. They're also working on 8K as well for this printer, I think this coming year, and they also have a larger format printer to kind of compete with the Jupiter and a lot of your larger printers, and I'm looking forward to that one coming out as well. So there you have it. It's definitely got my seal of approval. All right, everybody, what a review. That is an awesome printer. I do have a link in the description if you want to buy one. This is an affiliate link, so it does help out the channel if you do use the link in order to purchase one. And a big special thank you to all my patrons. If you want to become one, there's also a link for that in the description. Anyway, if you like the video, make sure that you also smash that like button and also drop us a comment below. It does also help out the channel. Of course, we would love to have you as a subscriber. Until the next video, everybody, make sure to be safe out there, enjoy the new year, and we'll see you.